And we are delighted to be joined now on the Shell Pennzoil performance line by someone who performed at a very high level all the time when he was playing, former NBA All-Star, and one of the most intimidating players in the history of the NBA, Charles Oakley. Charles, thanks for being with us this morning.
No problem.
I just wonder.
Good morning.
Good morning. As you watch the NBA playoffs as they're presently played out now and as they're officiated, how much do you kind of laugh at the way it's officiated now as opposed to when you guys were battling under the boards in your day?
Well, I laugh when the players walk up to them. Every player think they get fouled every play. I hate that. They walk up to the official. I mean, he has a job to do. You do your job, know your skill level, and you know it's a foul, not foul. They're going to call foul. That's why they got him out there to control the game. So, officiating got a tough job these days because there's a lot of delay calls. And, you wait 2 seconds and the other guy's heading out court. They make a call, the guys get mad. So, I don't know if they need to fix that or just call what you see.
Yeah, it seems they're calling what they're seeing, and we saw some of the calls may or may not have had an effect on the game last night. But I know as players, when we talked about this, no matter what sport you're in, you have to just move past them and continue to play. So your thought on the Cavaliers and the Pacers, this series a little closer than I think some people thought, and how the end of that game went.
Well, when you come away in the first game of the series, you always change the narrative of the series. So Cleveland had to win the game, then they went home. Cleveland, so now Cleveland got the lead 3-2. Last night game was, in Cleveland they was on fire. Downtown at the Q. They had the baseball game going. I'm in Cleveland, so it was a beautiful thing. The weather changed and the draft coming up. So Cleveland is really, all eyes on Cleveland today.
All eyes certainly on Cleveland, and all eyes have been on LeBron James this postseason. I'm interested, Charles, what have you made of what we've seen out of LeBron so far? This is more effort than we're used to seeing him have to give in the first round. How does that affect a player of his caliber and a veteran player who's used to being able to conserve more energy until the later parts of the postseason?
Well, it's like a boxing match. Sometimes you want to come out first 2 or 3 rounds, see what the partners have. But LeBron got to come out now. First quarter, third quarter, every quarter, and because he's the flow general for the team, and if he ain't working, the team ain't working. And just Kyrie left, his co-pilot from last year, and it all is on his shoulder. They don't have no one else can make no one better for us like beating them off the dribble, and they depend on him for 4 quarters, and he been producing. They got to go with the inning close it up Friday.
Charles Oakley with us on Golic and Wingo this morning. And it's funny you mentioned it's a boxing match because nobody knows about fighting or boxing matches in the NBA better than you. And this is one of those questions people always ask about, and you're the best person to try and answer it. When you look at the basketball that's being played now with, the run, catch, and shoot and hit the threes and all that kind of stuff, as opposed to the interior defense that was played when you guys were in your heyday, whether it was with the Bulls or the Knicks. And people always say, well, who would win a matchup between the 90s Bulls or the current Golden State Warriors right now? And my question always is, which rules are they playing under? Because if they're playing under the rules they're playing now, I'm pretty sure Golden State could just keep shooting and get away with anything. But as you well know, whether it was your time with the Knicks or the time with the Bulls, there were a completely different set of circumstances that all those little fancy things that they tried to do, you just wouldn't let them do.
Well, I think it's going to be a big difference because, the Bulls, they had a great run back in the 90s. Golden State having a great run now. I think you have better coaching and game situation back in our era because we would adjust to shooters like this. And ain't no 3 guys going to get 20-something a night. I think on the team that did that was Denver Nuggets back. They had Dan Ishel, Allen, and all them guys. But I think, with Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Michael, you got 3 good defenders, not just offensive players. So, it's Golden State, it's their era, and they're having a great time with it. They got some great players, but, that's just, you can't, it's like an apple and an orange. Most people want an apple than an orange, and they're going to go with Chicago. But they doing their job. They showing people they can play. They go to the finals. They making, they playing with without one of their best players now. They're in the second round, but they got to be very careful with New Orleans. New Orleans playing old school basketball right now.
Looking forward to the offseason for teams that aren't in the playoffs, one of your former teams, obviously the Knicks, one you're so associated with. With the players that they have right now, the youth of that team and what they're building around, what kind of head coach should they be looking for?
Well, head coach has, been a big thing for the organization. I mean, the best thing they could ever try to do was be head coach with Phil Jackson. If he didn't take the job, so it must be a problem. Right now, I would go with a guy, Mark Jackson got a lot of good experience. Stackhouse is young. I would go with someone who played the game. Someone they said the game has changed for how you treat players, and younger players need a lot more attention. You can't do this, can't do that. But when you're trying to win, they got to listen though. Somebody got to get some structure somewhere, and that's what I see by watching these games. It's so bad. Why New Orleans is doing so well? They got Rodno. They got a point guard who know how to play and get the ball to the right guy. It's too many guys shooting the ball who can't shoot. That's why teams is bad. They have no kind of structure and won't nobody tell the guys how to play the right way. So we'll see what the Knicks do. I mean, they need some pieces.
Well, speaking of a guy that told people what to do and how to do it, that was you when you played. Look, there was no doubt when you were playing, you were the baddest dude in the league, and you weren't afraid to go up and let anybody know you were the baddest dude in the league. What's the one story you can tell us about a guy that thought he was going to try you and you said don't even bother?
Probably when Otis thought he bowled me and turned around and see it was me. Probably like, oh wow. But now in this league, it's just we need to get back to that. I don't mind guys, you got to tell guys they roll. And you do not have the guys, if you don't know your role, you better have a good point guard who understands basketball. If not, you're not going to win. And you can see a lot of these younger teams, look at Utah. They give it one of their best players. They went to Boston. They got Mitchell came in doing a great job. Philly in the process is finally coming around. We've been waiting for, like buying a house. It's on the market. Now Philly looked good. Philly looked good, and New Orleans looked good. So two surprise teams so far. Utah, after last night, I don't know if they can bounce back.
Yeah, they certainly did. Charles, we appreciate you getting up with us this morning. Always a pleasure to watch you play.
You got to ask me a question about my Browns.
Okay. Charles, let me ask you a question about your Browns.
I came home, and I know this was probably one of the biggest moments in Cleveland history of anything. LeBron hit the buzzer winning last night, and the Cleveland got 2 picks in the top 5. So tonight, they got a lot of things, tailgate, this and that going to the city. But I'm going down to my man place and watch the game tonight. And
all right, Charles, we'll see what happens.
Okay, all right.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Charles.